Hello, I'm Eloise and this is my channel, and I can see into the future that you're going to really enjoy this makeup tutorial. Today I have decided to do a fortune teller makeup tutorial for Halloween. Of course, it's Freak Week. I'm trying as hard as I can to get as many Halloween makeup tutorials out for you, and this is number 2. So if you would like to see how I created this look, then make sure you keep on watching. I'm so impressed with how this has come out. So obviously we're doing the fortune teller makeup look. Last year I did one, it was pretty crap. In fact, I'm going to show you. I just drew some weird eyeball on my head and just hope for the best. This is a little bit more refined. Here she is. That's my fortune teller last year. Awful. So I'm going to stay away from that this year. The makeup is going to be the main focus, and then I'm going to add a couple of accessories just to make it look a little bit more fortune teller like. So I started off with the Juvia's Place Festival palette, and the pans are super big, so it's great for doing this sort of draping look. Draping is basically exaggerated blush. So I've gone for the peach, the pink, some Inglot shadows, these dark purples, and also a shimmery purple. So this one here, this is the Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope palette. If you don't have these palettes, I'm sure you've got something very similar at home, but I was just rooting through my palettes and I thought, yes, these are the right colours that I want to be using. So I'm first going, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce these names, so I'm going in with this peachy colour. So I'm just going to load my brush up. This stuff is super pigmented, and if you haven't watched my Pumpkin Queen super easy Halloween tutorial, I'm basically doing the same technique. I did some orange draping on that one, but this one's going to be a little bit more pinky and purpley. I haven't done my brows, I've done those afterwards. I just find with these eye looks, because they go right up to the brow bone, there's no point in doing the brows because the movement of the eyeshadow brush would just disturb the brow hairs. So I do those afterwards. So I've brought that quite far forward. Because obviously you only get to practice your Halloween skills once a year. It's really nice to look back at what you've done and how you can improve. Hence why I showed you my fortune teller makeup, because it was god awful. So now I'm going to go in with the same colour but a Zoeva 228, and I'm just going to messily pop this in the crease. The eye look isn't too technical at all, but it's all about really winging that shadow out and bringing it up to the brow bone as well, and bringing that out into that blush. That's actually a really nice blush shade. I should use that as blush. I'm going to put underneath my eye as well. And again, the same as the pumpkin look, it doesn't matter how messy you are because it comes together in the end. I really want to bring this colour quite low down. Now I'm going to be taking another angled contour brush, and I'm going to be taking this bright pink in the middle. I'm quite scared about taking this makeup off because I'm going for a facial after this. And this pink is most likely going to stain my face. It's always fun. And I'm not bringing this colour as high, so I just want to blend that out with that peach. And then I'm taking another Zoeva 228. It's really funny because I find Zoeva brushes aren't very consistent. This 228 is a little bit more tapered, and this 228 is a little bit more rounded on the end. And this 228 is so scratchy, it hurts my eyes. I'm just doing that blurred lip again. I really liked how that looked, and I'm just putting that on the tip of my nose. Now going in with a Zoeva 221, and I've got this little Inglot quad, so I'm going to be going in with this berry shade. I couldn't tell you for the life of me what colours these actually are because I wouldn't know how to get them out. It's just like a deep burgundy shade. And I'm just popping this into the crease just to add a little bit more dimension. Again, I'm being super messy, and I'm pulling this colour right into that inner corner, and I'm going to travel up through the brow because that makes you look quite mean. And then I want to pull this out as well into that blush. And I'm going to take that slightly smaller angled brush and that colour, and I'm just going to pop this in the back of the cheekbone. And this will look god awful in the start, but once you start adding all of those shimmers and beautiful highlight colours, it will really come together. And this is where I think the dimension is added when you add that shimmery purple. I'm going to take the shade Dye in the Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope palette, and I'm just popping that right under the cheekbone, and I've brought it fairly far forward. And then I'm just dying to show you this highlighter. So I'm going to take Spitfire. So Spitfire is like this blue, pink, purple duochrome, and it's absolutely stunning on the cheekbones, especially with this blushy shade. So I'm taking the Morphe M573, just a tiny little blender. And because we've got that pink underneath, really brings the blue and purple out. I'm going to put that on the top of the brow bone as well to get that extra dimension, and then a little bit in the inner corner, all using the same brush. And then I've popped a little bit of that on the top of the nose and on the Cupid's bow as well. And then just to brighten that up a little bit, I'm going to take this bright white shade. I'm just going to pop that on the top so it really pops. A little bit of that white just above the brow bone. Now going back to this Inglot palette, so I've just used the berry colour, now I'm going to go with the slightly darker maroon. I'm just going to darken that crease up. I want to go quite high with it because we're going to add some black. And take that same colour and same brush underneath the eye. And by taking a bigger fluffy brush, you're going to get a really diffused lower lash line, which is what I'm after. And now I'm going to take the black that's in the Kaleidoscope palette and a really thin blending brush. And I'm just going to pop that into the crease as well. You can see how pigmented that black is. I'm just using it to deepen up that burgundy colour. You can bring that up in that brow bit as well, just to add a little bit more dimension. So slightly wing it out. Going back in with my burgundy brush. And now I'm going to take my 24/7 Glide On pencil by Urban Decay in the shade LSD. And this is just going to be my base for my glitter. I'm just running that all over the eyelid. And I'm going to go much higher than my natural crease because I want to be able to see it with my eyes open. And then I'm going to take these two Peaches and Cream pigments. I'm going to take Fangulous first and Pixie afterwards, just to brighten up so you get that duochrome. So Fangulous is going to give me that bluey sort of colour. Absolutely stunning, these pigments. You see it on my finger. Like a bluey red, purple, green. Oh, everything is beautiful. So I'm just going to take a flat brush, take a little bit of that pigment, dust off the excess, and just place that all over. Press it in rather than swiping, and that gives a beautiful blue sparkle. And then just on top I'm going to add Pixie. Pixie's like a white with a pink shift to it. Really, really pretty. Using the same brush, I'm just going to place that on top. How gorgeous is that? This is honestly the quickest makeup ever. So much quicker than everyday makeup, I swear. Just going to add a little bit of black into that outer corner so it blends nicely. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the black Kohl pencil by Primark and pop that in my waterline. Then run that underneath my lashes. And go quite low with this one. You want it to be a really low, smoky lower lash line. And then grabbing a tiny little pencil brush. And then a little bit of black just to make it go slightly lower. Just going to use my Perversion pen by Urban Decay to line my lashes. Just gluing up my lash. And while that lash is drying, I'm going to do quite a dark brown so that there's a contrast. Because if I did it too light, then it would just blur into the makeup that I've done. So I'm just taking my Primark Skinny Brow in the shade Dark Brown. So I'm going to do a structured brow rather than anything fluffy. So lashes are on, brows are done. All I need to do now is choose a lip. So I think I'm going to do sort of like an ombre lip. So I'm going to start off with the black pencil. So this is the Primark one still. So I'm just going to line the lips. And I'm not filling them in, I'm literally just lining them so far. And then I'm going to take Urban Decay Vice Lipstick in After Dark. This is a matte shade and it looks like this. Beautiful plummy sort of berry pink. And using the lipstick to blend the black in. That looks good. And then just to top it off, I need a little bit of sparkle on my lips. So I'm going to take the Urban Decay Liquid Moon Dust in the shade Solstice. And I'm just going to take on the back of my hand, and I'm going to use my ring finger. I'm just going to work it in to my finger and just dust it on top. And that just gives a slight sheen to the lip, and I love it. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit more of a glossy look. So I'm going to quickly go and get an accessory and I'll be right back. So I've just found this choker that I bought a couple of years ago, and I thought it went perfectly. And of course I already had this because I'm obsessed with these hairbands at the moment. So I've literally just put the choker underneath, and I'm now a fortune teller. So I have really enjoyed creating this look. I think it's just so cool and definitely a step up from my last year fortune teller. So awful. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up, subscribe and all that jazz. I'm Eloise, this is my channel, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.